Hey guys, what's up? I still do boxing videos, so I've been hearing a lot of dumb noise about Terrence Crawford versus Servant-Steward. We're still a boxing fan on this channel, guys, and we do. When we feel something that we would like to talk about, we will come out with boxing videos. But I think we were one of the first to just call the story how it is with the whole Servant-Spence PBC thing, how they are basically a sham company, how the money at PBC is funny, all that. It's funny how people are now finally catch up. And I mean, I went like a year without coming out with boxing videos, which is funny to me. But, you know, just real quick, if this stuff is true, if they are actually making this fight, my prediction does not change at all. Servant-Spence has been looking progressively worse during each fight. You can go ahead and rate that Ugas fight as, I guess, a good performance, but in my book, it's not. He's getting hurt in every fight. We've seen this in Shawn Porter. We've seen this even in fights in his early career when he was getting his mouthpiece knocked out back then. But specifically Shawn Porter, again, Shawn Porter lands about 200 punches on Spence, but people want to talk about Terrence Crawford's defense. Danny Garcia, he got hurt in that fight as well, again. And this is a checked out Danny Garcia who himself said that, you know, he was a cherry pick. He called himself a cherry pick, guys. So we always told you guys about that fight as well, how he's mentally weak, and he's even turned down fights from Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. And the reasons being that his father told them that he's not mentally ready for those fights, you know what I'm saying? But still got hurt in that fight. You can go ahead and say, you know, it was a car wreck and he was coming off of that, whatever else. The PBC, they build all their fighters on calculated risk. So I don't want to hear it. It's still cherry picking. We told you it was a cherry pick fight. You're using low hanging fruit with the name. Danny Garcia has not done nothing in the welterweight division other than be a high profile Granados. You understand, he's a guy who gets passed around. You know what I'm saying? He's a premium Granados in my opinion. Ugas fight, of course, self-explanatory. Ugas, what can I say? He sits there, hurts him, and just stares at him. We've also told you on this channel that these guys fight like they have silent agreements. That's between all of them. You're seeing all this, but in these fights, these guys throw 700, 800, 900,000 punches at each other, and you'll be lucky to see these guys get hurt or buzz at all. You know what I'm saying? Even that Danny Garcia fight to me looked like a silent agreement fight. Mickey Garcia, he's so small. I know Terrence Crawford would easily knock him out at welterweight. If Servant-Spence was anything what you guys said he was, he would have knocked Mickey Garcia out, especially landing what did they say he landed? Like 350 punches on him. Again, putting Fight Night champion punch stats on Mickey Garcia, not even being able to hurt him or concuss him or nothing. You know, we've always called it out on this channel, but my prediction still stands. Servant-Spence, he's a very repetitious, broken record fighter. Crawford's going to catch on to that jab, 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 straight left real quick. Jab, 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 whatever else, left hook, right hook to the body. This man throws the same repetition combinations, actions throughout the fight. Crawford is a guy, again, you may get him maybe the second, third, maybe even fourth or fifth time with that stuff. Jab, 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 straight left, jab, jab, jab. You know, Crawford's going to pick up on that quick. And I'm telling you, that's going to be one of the most anticlimactic fights that's ever been hyped up in boxing. It's not even close, guys. There's a reason why Servant-Spence and Al Haymon have always ran away from that fight. To me, the evidence is right there in front of everybody's face. And it's just now that people are finally openly admitting what we already knew. I know you Servant-Spence fans know this guy was ducking the whole time. Again, that's just as easy as 1 + 1 = 2, you know, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 type stuff. Again, if you deny that stuff, given all the actions and just statements and everything that Servant-Spence has done, again, you got channels like E-Thriller, they've chronicled it pretty nicely, you know, with video evidence to where it's pretty much not disputed. It's undisputed. You can't sit here unless you're just so blind and so much of an Servant-Spence fan. But again, that fight's going to be anticlimactic. It's going to be one of Crawford's easiest fights. You know what I'm saying? And I have the knockout occurring at around round 6. Errol Spence does not have the defense or the skills that people claim. He's a boardroom fighter. Boardroom fighters are always given easy route, you know, and it's just proved that to you as well, because they even ducked Terrence Crawford recently, as we've all found out. We've been telling you this stuff the whole time, guys. It's even to the point where these guys don't even care about making money, making a profit. You know, they still want everything in-house, and they're willing to sink their own ship, then venture out and put their fighters in true risk anytime. For the majority of them, whenever their fighters do fight a real body, you know, someone who's half decent, they always get exposed. But this is a fight, again, there are levels. Terrence Crawford is on a different level than those other guys. Again, PBC is a televised series. To me, it seems scripted for the most part. They know who they're gonna fight, you know. Like, for example, Errol Spence gave Terrence Crawford his game plan far before we even got to this point, which is like 5 or 6 years now. But he told him exactly who he was gonna fight: Mickey Garcia, then Sean Porter, then maybe Danny Garcia, and that's exactly how it went. Again, the way these guys fight, they fight kind of in a manner as they have a silent agreement. There's not much impactful shots and things like that. Plus, again, the easy route matchmaking is stunts fighters' growth. Again, PBC was always good at somewhat making proverbial names. Again, these guys aren't real pay-per-view sellers or anything else. They're relying on Floyd Mayweather still to basically hold the company up. You know what I'm saying? But this fight's anticlimactic. It's not going to be any different. Errol Spence's inside fighting is overrated. Outside fighting is definitely overrated. Again, this guy, they kept him away from legit competition, and I mean like guys who are actually a threat. You understand? Guys who are actually hungry, guys who are actually in there to win, not guys that are there like a Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman or someone like that. You know, you can tell these guys were given silk sheets before they were given belts. Again, they're not ready for that type of scenario. They're just not. And Crawford, he's built different. Those guys are what you would call a scavenger. They're like hyenas. You know, they're pumped up when they know it's someone they can beat or someone they can easily win against and not even have to work that hard and stuff like that. But when it comes to real challenges, you'll see time and time again that these guys, they don't want no smoke with nobody, man. You see how Errol Spence will want a Jeff Horn. He's willing to cross the street for that. But of course, for Crawford, they already knew what time it was back then. And I'm telling you, he stands no chance. I guarantee you, again, just throw that little sequence that you always throw: jab, 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 straight left, try to rush in, close the distance, because that's all he is a pressure fighter at the end of the day. He's a volume puncher. He doesn't have the skills or the punch placement and those types of things that people try to claim that he does. I never understood why he was in the top 5 pound for pound. I believe him beating Mickey Garcia, a guy who moved up 2 weight classes, awarded him that placement on the pound for pound. But it just shows you that a lot in boxing today is smoke and mirrors. Again, he's a boardroom fighter. They even tried to build him up like a rapper, you know, where he is a suburb boy, but they got him hanging out with rappers and things like that to help his brand. And it was successful to a certain extent, but he could never cross the threshold. Mickey Garcia was his climax of his career. Again, after that, they had to lie about 250,000 pay-per-view buys. People are starting to figure out that Crawford did have a bigger name, so they were trying to use PR stunts and things like that to really assist their fighters. Plus, for whatever reason, the YouTubers were part of that as well. Just hating on Crawford for no reason, not being objective, not ever pointing out facts or anything like that. You know, and it's kind of, they fall into their own trap. You know what I'm saying? So again, if PBC is interested in trying to make money instead of the scam that they've been running for years, again, that fight is going to be anticlimactic. It's going to be one of Crawford's easiest fights. Again, Errol Spence, he can beat you in war or attrition, but again, due to lack of punch placement, timing, and those types of attributes that a lot of great dominant fighters have, guys like Roy Jones, guys like Floyd Mayweather, even guys like Manny Pacquiao, and people like that, you know, Errol Spence doesn't really have any special talents or abilities Other than the fact that he's typically bigger than his opponents, these guys are usually picked in the most opportune time for him to fight them. You know what I'm saying? And he can take a beating because on fight night, you know, he's you know, a middleweight easily. He's weighing 160 plus pounds, you know, on fight night. So he's kind of like a Margarito in that regard, except for Margarito fought some pretty challenging opponents. You understand? He didn't really duck too many people. But Errol Spence, he has that same type of fighting style. When he fights a half-decent guy, even like a Ugas who already had 4 losses, you know, just Ugas's timing, and Ugas isn't a powerful puncher, but we saw what he was able to do to Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford, a guy who, again, can end the fight at any time during the fight. He's going to land a devastating punch that's going to cause a lot of damage to his opponents. And he's very smart in his approach when he knows, when he smells that blood, you know, again, he's like probably one of the, if not, well, one of, if not the best finisher in boxing once he has a guy hurt. You know, he can definitely close the show. And Errol Spence's defense, when he tries to beat defensive, he actually looks more clunkier and goofy and gets caught. Just look at the highlights of Sean Porter, what he was getting caught with in those fights. He gets caught with a lot of silly punches. Again, he's not going to be able to withstand, especially Crawford's ability to go body head, again, and just hit openings. This is what makes Crawford a very deadly man as well. He can seize openings, so if a guy is protecting his head, you know, Crawford's going to find an opening, whether he needs to land an uppercut, it doesn't matter if it's from the left or right hand. If the body's open, he's able to seize that opening in the body. Errol Spence just does not have the defense, again, and he does not have the chin. We've been saying this for the longest time. They kept him away from punchers for basically his entire career. And you see what checked out fighters and guys like Ugas have been able to do to him. Again, the narrative has always been backwards, and it's not going to be any different. If you guys bet your money, bet around the 6th round, because it's not even going to go. I don't even think it's even going to go as far as Sean Porter. Again, Igis Kavalauskas, I don't think he's going to even be able to withstand and do what Igis Kavalauskas was able to do against Crawford. Errol Spence, again, this is a man who started believing in his own boardroom character that they made him portray himself as. And this man, when you deal with those type of people, again, oftentimes those fights, typically the guy who wins the popularity contest, they don't win when it counts. And I know Crawford will have something for him that he's just not ready for. Errol Spence has already been showing the signs of a checked out fighter. This guy, you know, he was having weight issues during Manny Pacquiao and things like that. Again, I don't fully believe the excuses and things that they've given him. He wasn't ready basically to take his highest payday with Crawford. What was it? When they started talking December of last year, and we're talking about 2021 going into 2022. We're now in 2023, but he's talking about spinning a block and things like that. They know what they've been doing, and they know what their limits are, guys. PBC fighters, again, you know, this guy, he's out of his element. Again, Crawford, he can fight inside, he can fight outside. Crawford can actually time people with hard damaging shots. Errol Spence does not have that ability. If he did, he would be able to easily knock out guys such as Mickey Garcia, guys who aren't even that athletic, plus really didn't present that much of a threat. Again, it takes a little bit better skill than just jab, 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 straight left, close the distance, right hook, body punch, left hook, body punch. This guy literally throws the same things. And like I said, he does hit hard, but that's more due to size. His technique takes a lot from his power as well, because he typically keeps a wide base and he stays low for being the bigger man. He puts his head in the guy's chest. It's little things like that that are going to take away from your power too. And I don't see Errol Spence developing those types of skills this late into the game, especially when you're a guy who's not the most disciplined guy. You know, we could talk about maybe if this guy juices or not. I think he does. I think a vast majority of the fighters do. I think you kind of have to be quite honest with you. But again, his thing, the only gift and special attribute you can give to Errol Spence is stamina. But again, this will be a guy, people, they think Errol Spence maybe is a better body puncher. He's not. Terrence Crawford is just the far more devastating puncher, the more pinpoint accurate surgeon with his punches. Terrence Crawford has a better jab in my opinion. Again, just because a guy throws volume jabs does not really necessarily mean that he's a good jabber. But Terrence Crawford, again, just for his ability to be able to pinpoint, sees openings, place his punches, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different dynamic other than this let's throw 700, 800, 900 punches that Errol Spence is used to when he's fighting his opponents. And like we said, Terrence Crawford is more of a one and done type guy, one shot, one kill type guy. Errol Spence, he's, again, I need to throw 800 punches. I believe in the Ugas fight, he threw 825 punches before he could finally get Ugas out of there, and Ugas already had a damaged eye. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford in that position, after Ugas's eye was hurt, that fight would have ended no later than around after the injury occurred, you understand? Again, it's just there's levels to this, guys, and make-believe doesn't, and fake it till you make it, it just never holds up. And I know it's very successful. You see guys like Jake Paul and everybody else, they get away with it. But unfortunately, when you're a professional boxer and that's what you start to turn to and how you survive in a professional sport, it is going to stunt your growth and it is going to make you more lax, and you're just not going to be what people claim that you are. And I know even the Spence fans know what the truth is, so there's not much for me to say. The knockout is still going to occur round 6. I don't think this fight even comes close to reaching going past 10 or 9. Again, I don't think he's going to even be able to do what Aegis Kavalauskas did. Errol Spence, unfortunately, is a boardroom fighter, and those type of guys, they may catch some people with the nonsense that they're trying to sell them with, but in this certain situation, it's just a bad stylistic matchup for Spence. Again, make-believe's not going to get you the victory in this fight. So I got Crawford knockout. If you're going to bet, there'll probably be prop bets. Bet rounds 4, 5, and 6 for the KO. And you probably won't even need to put that much money on those rounds. If you bet something probably like as 25 bucks, you'll probably net a good profit. So imagine if you do like putting down $100 on those rounds or something like that. They're probably going to be at the lowest plus 600, and they're probably going to be at the highest depending on what site you go on. Maybe around $1,000. So $100, you'll win, your $1,000 or whatever. So those are going to be some money rounds for you guys to put your money on. Those early rounds, I would cover a spread like rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7 just to be safe. Put like 20 to $100 on those, and you're going to win some money. You know what I'm saying? For you guys who like to bet safe, you're going to get your money covering those rounds, because I'm telling you, this fight ain't going to do nothing. It's going to be anticlimactic. It's going to be overrated. And Terrence Crawford, he's not even going to get credit for the fight. We've been knowing this ending years before it was going to happen, and it's pretty easy for anyone to see. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.